The grave of Antonin Dvorak. When I leaned toward his headstone, shaking and still empty in places, like the pale extension of a lone flame at the foot of this gray corner, my angles were as splintered as a broken music staff, and there was nothing in my mouth to say or sing. Am I telling you a tale or waiting to be told one? It was winter, the kind that floats stones for breezes, and as I sat, I recalled the last surviving rose that had twisted through the slick wire and thick-throated cement into the wall surrounding Visharad. How I had tried to still it through my camera lens, but it kept twisting in a mute wail, swinging its body like a gutted bell. Was my shivering like that now, before the great maestro? His buoyant limbs now folded like a limp swan in the earth, the silence of his stony ribcage, the only music. There were nights in Prague when with a diver's spine over the piano he fed the frenzy through his fingers and into the keys, into them while the Vltava cut a metronome into the bridge outside his window. And he didn't sleep. And then the maids began to leave, the hired hands who couldn't bear the sight of those fingers, beating themselves into bone until he was spent and finally still. And even now I am wary of him, this place, this candle's flame, the way the audience in Prague must have stumbled at first, hesitated to let their jaws fall open for the man who hand-fed them notes from his music stand, who cradled them in his own humming ribcage, who held them to him as the lone soprano sang. But then I exhale and let my edges become candlelight. Somewhere the rose is bending open, spent and still.